it going? Welcome to my 10,000 subs Q&A video. It still feels really weird to say, but here we are. So we're going to have some gameplay in the background just so you don't get too bored just watching me answer some pretty good questions actually. I'm pretty impressed with the caliber of questions that have come out. So before we get into the questions, I just want to give a massive, huge, bigger than words can say thank you to all of you watching, and anyone who's watched one of my videos in the past, liked, subscribed, of course, followed me on Twitch, Twitter, everything, the whole lot, been part of the Discord, everything and anything. It truly means a lot, and the fact that we're at 10,000 subscribers is crazy. It's nuts. Like I never thought I'd ever get this far with the YouTube channel. When I started, I was like, sweet, we'll make a YouTube channel, it'll be fun, and maybe we'll get like 1,000 subscribers or something. To be at 10,000 is crazy. It's crazy. There's some questions regarding it, so I won't go too far into how it feels right now. But yeah, just a massive thank you to everyone who's ever been a part of this, what I do, and thank you very much for watching and enjoying what I do. And yeah, I hope to do more in the future, and hopefully you stick with me. So we're going to start with the questions here. So first, we're going to start with questions from YouTube. So I've got from B the Immortal saying, congratulations, thank you very much. And saying, what was the first RTS I've ever played? So I'm pretty sure, now don't quote me on this because I can't remember exactly from my childhood, but I'm pretty sure it was Age of Empires 1. That's the one I have the earliest memories of, but while I'm saying that, it could also have been Dark Reign, Netstorm, Islands at War, or Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun. So it could have been any of those. Pretty sure it was Age of Empires 1. Joe Dudit asks, would you rather be able to play an RTS game using only an Xbox gamepad or play them on an iPad touchscreen? 100% iPad touchscreen. Really no contest. I really don't like gamepad's lack of precision, especially for RTSs. It's just really not a good time. I used to have a copy of Age of Empires 2 for the PlayStation back in the day, and that was horrible. So iPad touchscreen, at least you can then click on what you need to. IM999 asks, what features do you enjoy most in RTS games, and why RTS over turn-based? I know it's obvious, but the main thing is that it's just in real time, right? The turn-based games just don't really give me like the satisfaction that a real-time game does. I just have trouble kind of getting invested with like an inherently unrealistic concept of like taking turns, which isn't like real life, real life is in real time, and that feels like inherently more natural, right? And turn-based, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't quite like get me involved. Like a turn-based game has to be really, really good for me to really like get into it. I think a good example are the new XCOM games, which I'm a really big fan of. But apart from that, there's not many turn-based games I'm really into. It's definitely real time for me. Don't Shoot Me X asks, are you going to do a retrospective video on the Dawn of War games? Also, congratulations. Thank you very much. And yes, it is planned. It's on the schedule for 2020, near the start. The schedule can, be edited a little bit, so there might be some changes, but right now, yep, it's in the timeline, start of 2020. Kairos asks, how long did it take you to get past 500 subscribers? I think it was around 7 months, roughly, which is pretty insane when you think about it. 7 months to get to 500, and then only 11 more months to get to 10,000, which, yeah, pretty nuts. But yeah, I remember doing a channel update video around end of December, and we were at 300 subscribers, and that was 6 months. So you can go back and watch that video, it's still there. Natural Grey asks, if a new Command & Conquer game were to be released in the future, would you do a campaign run, maybe a co-op with another YouTuber of your choosing? So I'm gonna take this as meaning, would you stream a campaign run? And I like to think that yes, I would. Yeah, I'd be keen to do that. Maybe not an entire campaign, depends how long it is. But yeah, I'd be keen for that if people want to watch it. And I'm going to interpret the second part as like, who would I choose to do a co-op with? And if I had to choose one person, I think it would be Mandalore, the Mandalore Gaming. He makes great stuff. He reviews old games. Like, what more do you need, He's a great dude. There's a link on screen. You should go check him out if you haven't already. Alright, well, now we're going to move on to some questions from the community Discord. There's a link to that below if you want to join up. So from Slont, he asks, what was my favourite game as a child? That's a very difficult question to ask because there's a ton of answers I could give. But I think I'd be lying to myself if I didn't say Impossible Creatures. It's just such a great game. And I remember the day I got it. I got the full version for my birthday after playing the demo for like ages, months. And my mum and dad bought me the disc, like hard copy for my birthday. It was like 2004 back in the day. And I was like so excited. Probably the most excited I've ever been to receive a game. I've still got the manual. It's one of my prized possessions. So yeah, I think Impossible Creatures has to be the answer. From Water Witch, you've really started to build up a fairly large community. Do you feel like you've earned 10,000 subscribers? It's an interesting question. I don't think I'll ever feel like I've actually earned any number of subscribers, whether that's 10, 10,000 or 10 million. I don't know. It's just like a weird feeling. Like seeing that number go up and just keeps going, but you're really just doing the same stuff every day. Like it's not like hitting 10,000 makes it feel any different. It feels exactly the same. I always still love hearing about how people have like enjoyed a video, or just like maybe made them reminisce about their childhood, or how it made them make an informed purchasing decision, with a review or something. I guess as time goes on, there's just more of that, which is really, really great, and that's one of my favorite parts about making videos overall. Darren asks, what was your occupation before doing YouTube? So I was a graphic designer, which is what I studied for, but I did work corporate, I guess you could call it, in banks for a few years. But I still do design as a freelance job and just like a hobby as well, and that's going to be the field that I'll be back in if and when I go back to full-time employment. Daedalus, why did you start with YouTube? What was your intention? Did you want to spread some stuff you think is cool, or did you just start because of another reason? So I actually started because I hated the job I was working in. I was working at a bank at the time. I didn't mind my banking jobs in the past, but this one in particular, I was in Canada, and this job was just not enjoyable. Really boring, monotonous stuff. Really wasn't a fan of the work, and I just wanted something to do that was exciting. Really, something to like occupy my thoughts. Like take my mind off working. That was something I could plan at work and think about. Like, oh, okay, when I get home, I'm going to do this and this, and stuff like that. It was actually my wife's idea, so you can thank her for getting me started. I always liked the idea of doing like a YouTube channel or something similar like that, but I never got around to it. So I'm super glad I did. Like I said earlier, I never thought we'd get this far, but mainly it was just for fun, as I'm sure a lot of people would say. Serendista, what was your favorite old brackets DOS game? Also, have you been contacted by EA/X-Westwood/Petroglyph regarding your CNC video series? Oh my gosh, I wish, dude. If there's anyone listening from any of those places, there's links to my socials below. Just get in touch. I'd love to chat. No, I have not. I can't say that I haven't tried to contact them. That's all I'll say. Might be something coming with that at some point. We'll just have to wait and see. But back to the first part of your question. It's not a DOS game because I was probably too young to be into any real DOS games. But the oldest game I have a memory of playing is the Neverhood. Really weird claymation game. Some of you might have played it. It was released in 1996, I think, or 98. Super weird, kind of creepy. It's like very uncanny. I'd recommend you give it a go. I think it's freeware. Have a look, the Neverhood. Look it up. It's odd. But yeah, that was the first game I really remember playing. I'd recommend it. It's a good one. It's just weird. Yam=0 asks, what was your favorite/least favorite video and why? This is a really good question. I like this question. So as for my favorite video, I think it has to be the retrospective on Supreme Commander that I did back in May, I believe. I just put like a ton of work into that video. It took super long to make. It's the longest edited video I've made for the channel by far. I think it's 10 minutes longer than the Metro retrospective. It was like 40 minutes, a lot of work, and a lot of effort went into that. But I think it turned out really, really well. I was really happy with the end product, and the fact that I got to interview Chris Taylor for it was pretty insane. I still think back to that. I'm like, man, I really did that, huh? For the least favorite, I think it just has to be my first couple of videos. I know that's a bit of a cop-out answer. I'm sure most YouTubers would say their least favorites are their first, but I got to be honest. My first couple are probably my least favorite. They're just very low quality, and compared to my newer stuff, they're just like completely different, not very entertaining. But you live and learn. So yeah, I think that would have to be the answer. Playdove asks, what's the surface area of a kiwi? Well, I did look this up. A large kiwi would be considered 45 centimeters high, and it would weigh about 3.3 kilos. So you can do the math on that. It's the best you'll get. FlyOMB, how do you feel now that you have 10k? What's your favorite part about doing YouTube, and where do you hope to get as your next milestone? How do I feel about 10k? Just excited to do more, really. Like I said earlier, like 10k is a really nice number, but in the end, like everything's the same. You know, like it's not like making YouTube videos gets any different once you hit 5 digits. It's really just business as usual. But I do like satisfying numbers, so it's nice to see 10k. Next goal, probably 50. I think. I don't think it could be anything else. It's got to be a nice round number, and I think 20 is maybe a bit too low. So let's say 50k will be the next goal. That'd be crazy. That'd be really crazy. As for my favorite part about doing YouTube, I just love seeing people enjoying videos and leaving feedback, comments, and like personal stories of their experiences with games and stuff like that. So that's probably the favorite. But I do have to admit, the feeling of uploading a video once you've been working on it for ages and like just getting it out there, no matter like what the feedback is great. So that would be probably a second one. Strategist, ZadeCon 2020. In all seriousness, would you ever go to one of the major gaming conventions, or is the trip too long or expensive? So yeah, for those who don't know, I live in New Zealand, and getting anywhere from New Zealand, unless it's Australia, is very long and very expensive. So there's not a lot of opportunity to go to things like PAX or E3. There's PAX Australia. I'd like to go to a PAX Australia at some point, but past that, I would really love to get out to a PAX East or a West, or a Gamescom. To a lesser extent, E3, because it's less like community focused. But yeah, any of those would be super cool. I want to try and make one happen in the next couple of years. That's kind of the rough idea that I have right now. But I'll let people know either way. So if people want to meet up and hang out, then I'll try and be there for something. I can't say when or where, but somewhere. Apothecary Joe asks, how do you come up with your logo/username? I get this question a lot, because it really doesn't make any sense, does it? So the logo actually started as a loading animation that I made in my first year of study, which you can see up there. That's the original. And when I started the channel, I needed a logo, right? And I was like, well, what do I do? Like, I don't really want to use my face. Like, I want to have something like that's just fairly simple, but like eye-catching and recognizable. So I took that logo animation, screenshotted a part of it, and then just changed all the colors to red. Because I was like, well, I'll choose the color and I like red, so let's do red. And the pattern was cool, so I was like, sweet, let's go with that. Didn't really think it would make any difference. Just like, let's just choose whatever. But yeah, eventually it stuck. After 6 months, I ended up remaking it in Illustrator and actually drawing it out and making it just cleaner and nicer colors and stuff. So that's the comparison. And that's it. So it's stuck, and that's it. It doesn't really mean anything. It just looks cool. As for the username, long story short, my online name used to be Zade. It's unrelated to the drink, though I've never had it. So maybe I should relate it to the drink if it's good, but no, unrelated to the drink. And it used to be Zade, but people never used to say the first part of my name. They would just say Zade. So I dropped the first half and just went with it. Bit of trivia for you, back in the day I was part of some online game forums, as everyone was, and it was like the cool thing to have like a profile picture and like a little banner under anything you typed. And I had these two horribly cringy ones I made when I was like 12 and 13. So yeah, I've never shared those with anyone, but I thought it's the Q&A. Let's get some crazy stuff out there. And yeah, pretty cringe. What can I say? 14 years old, cringy, thought he was super cool, so enjoy that. Kung Fu Rabbit, YouTubing/streaming, good or nah? Good. Definitely good. That's an in-joke, by the way, for those who are confused. If you want to get in on that in-joke, watch my Twitch streams. And last but certainly not least, Unit 4545 asks, why? Why not? Alright everyone, thank you very much for watching this Q&A. I hope you liked it. I've kind of been thinking I wanted to do a Q&A for a while. I've had a couple of people ask if I was ever going to do a Q&A. It was good timing. I guess I figured I'd put it with the 10k video. But if people like the Q&As and have more questions, then maybe I'll consider doing another one just because, not for any particular reason. So if you do have any questions, chuck them down below, and if there's enough there, then I'll make a follow-up to this and we'll do another one. I like them, they're kind of fun, But again, thanks everyone so much for all the support over the last 18 months or so. all the likes, subscriptions, everything. It's crazy. Yeah, it's been a wild ride. I didn't think we'd ever get this far, and I don't intend to stop anytime soon. So if you want to see more videos, then there's going to be more coming. I got some really exciting stuff planned. I just thought about the really exciting one that I can't talk about. It's really exciting. You'll see it in the next couple of months. There'll be something pretty exciting coming out soon. And yeah, as always, if you've got any suggestions of games you'd like to see covered or reviewed, anything like that, then feel free to leave it down below or in the Discord. And also, I'd just like to say that I've started a Patreon. I know it's like, it's a bit of a dirty word, not always, but like, it's got some negative connotations associated with it. But I've decided, like, I'm going to start one. I wanted to hit a certain amount first, so obviously nothing will change otherwise. If you do want to support me more, then that's the best place to do it. But honestly, just watching a video is more than I can ask. But for those who want to or are interested, there's a link down below. I might make a dedicated video just talking about it briefly and going into more detail, but I'm gonna soft launch it here. So if you're interested, then there's a link down below. But don't feel any obligation or anything like that. I'm still working out the tiers and benefits of what's going to offer. I don't want to take content away from anyone who doesn't want to use Patreon. So it's not like there's going to be videos barred or anything like that. There'll be extra stuff, and maybe if people really love Q&As, then you can ask me on there. We'll figure something out, but there's a link below if you're interested. And of course, I would massively appreciate it. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this Q&A, and there'll be a new video out. Just trying to think. Oh yeah. I remember the next video that's coming on. Like, for you guys who were stuck to the end of the Q&A, I'll give you a little spoiler for the next video. I'm not going to put this anywhere, so only you who are watching the Q&A right now will see it. Oh dear Lord. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.